In today's video, I'm sharing 5 things that every Catholic should do every day. One of these things I'm currently not that consistent with right now. This is an aspirational list, but all of these things I've noticed made such a huge difference in my life, and I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Number 1, if you know my channel, then you know I'm a huge proponent of praying the Rosary daily. I pray the Rosary every day. I've actually recently been trying to do 3 rosaries a day. I'm pretty consistent with 2. I'm doing 3, at least 3 to 4 days a week, but I'm pretty consistent with my 2 rosaries. I'm trying to get to that 3rd. Praying the Rosary has absolutely changed my life. I will link the video. I have 2 videos sharing how praying the Rosary changed my life. My first one was after a year, and my second one was after praying the Rosary every day for 5 years. It has radically changed my life. I love praying the Rosary. I love the Blessed Mother, and I love Jesus so much. And what I love about the Rosary is it is a true meditation on the life of Jesus Christ. And I always get new things from meditating on the Rosary, especially lately. I'm a mom of 2 under 2. I have 2 little boys. I have a 16-month-old and a 2-month-old, and my life is very full right now, very busy. Meditating on Jesus's life is really so incredible. My aunt and I were just talking this morning about the Blessed Mother and how she had such a great faith in God and such great trust in God, because it's easy to think, yeah, she was perfect. She had God as her son. It must have been so perfect and easy for her, but it wasn't. She gave birth in a manger. She fled for the life of her son to a place where she knew no one in a foreign land. Her life was far from easy, but she had faith in God. She trusted in the Lord. I have struggled trusting in the Lord when my son's not sleeping through the night, and I'm like, Lord, you put this child in my arms. How am I gonna do all this? Sometimes you really need to surrender everything to God and just give it to God and trust that He'll see you through it. I really believe God doesn't put something in your path that He doesn't want to see you through and walk you through. Having these Rosary meditations, I'm just always getting new fruit from the Rosary and from the life of Jesus Christ. The second thing that I think every Catholic should do every day, and really every Christian should do every day, is inviting Jesus into your day constantly. This is piggybacking off of what I was just saying. You know, my everyday life is very demanding. I have 2 very small children that want a lot of attention and need a lot of attention from me as their mother. It can sometimes feel like I'm giving and don't have a lot to give. Like, I feel like from the time I'm awake to the time I'm asleep, I am just constantly giving to these precious gifts that God gave me. It can feel very overwhelming sometimes, especially depending on how much they need me at one time. Always turning to the Lord throughout my day, trying to stay close to Him and remember that He is the author of these children's life. He is the author of my life. He loves me. He's walking me through this. He loves families. I just need to lean on Him throughout my day and trust in Him, and He'll give me the grace to get through whatever situation is upon me. Another thing that really helps me invite Christ into my life is I have crucifixes and religious art all over my house. I think it looks stylish and tasteful. I love having Jesus everywhere in my home. There is no room in my house without a crucifix, and that really does help me remember I'm putting my struggles at the feet of your cross, Lord. That's something I do all the time. Sometimes I just literally imagine myself kneeling at the foot of the cross, laying out my fears, my needs, my struggles to Jesus, and I'll just say that all the time. Lord, I lay everything at the foot of your cross. Lord, I give you these things. Lord, I'm struggling with this. I need you right now. It's not the most profound prayers, but they're meaningful because they're from my heart, and I'm truly turning to the Lord in everything, and that makes my life just so much more fruitful. Staying close to Christ is the best way to live a life that's joyful. My life is not easy right now, but it is truly joyful, and it's because I feel the presence of the Lord more than ever, because I know I need Him more than ever. Number 3 is speak only pure words. This is something I actually am constantly working on. I have a fiery tongue. I have a fiery personality. My aunt and I were talking about this, but I'm quick to get upset and I'm quick to forgive. And it's sometimes easy for me to be unkind with my words. And that's something that I really want to work on. Sometimes it's like you think, oh, it's harmless to just make a little funny comment here and there, but it's really not. It's never good to talk about someone in a negative way. It's never good to make small comments that put someone down. And I never try to be mean to anyone or anything like that, but like gossiping or telling a story about a person that you know or know of isn't a good thing, especially if it's depicting that person in not a great light. I think there's one thing to be said about talking about a situation that you're struggling with to trusted advisors, and another thing to just be talking about people and their life choices that you don't agree with to other people. There is a fine line between like asking for help in a situation and just venting and talking about someone. And I really am working on trying not to gossip, trying not to talk about anyone in a way that would be considered unkind or something I wouldn't say to their face. ways. It's so important to be charitable and loving in our words. And another way of speaking pure words is not swearing. This has been my goal for 2 years, to totally give up swearing. And I used to have such a potty mouth. I'm very embarrassed to say I would use all the swears, and I'm very, not all the swears, but like I would use a lot of swears, and it would just fly out of my mouth like nothing. Any word in my vocabulary. I've made a real effort the last few years to try and stop swearing, especially becoming a mother. I never want to swear in front of my children. I made so much progress, but now that I'm postpartum and I'm not sleeping that much because my son isn't sleeping through the night, I have been a lot worse about using swear words, and I'm embarrassed to say it. I'm really working on not swearing. It's not a good thing. I never want to ever curse in front of my children. So using only pure words, speaking highly of other people, not speaking about people behind their back, not swearing is so important. You want to reflect Jesus Christ in everything you do as a Christian. It's so important to be the hands, feet, and mouth of Jesus. And if you're being unkind about other people or talking about other people, you're sending a message to someone that you're not truly living the gospel. We want to be different as Christians. We want to show the light and love of Jesus Christ. My fourth thing that every Christian should do is read the Bible every day, or some kind of Christian reading, something that's going to elevate your heart and soul and bring you closer to Christ. What we feed our minds with is so important. I made a video about 5 things Christians should do, and I talked about not watching dark things, horror films, violence, things like that, because what we fill our minds with matters. The flip side of that, we should be filling our minds with the Word of God. We should be filling our mind with spiritual books written by saints, lives of saints, stories about walking with Christ and learning about Christ. You're watching this video, you're filling your mind with ways that you can elevate yourself as a Christian and Catholic. For me, I was really good at that, but lately I have been terrible about listening to anything Christian, reading anything Christian. I really am not reading at all. I wish I was reading. I was really enjoying that right before bed, but right now, because my son doesn't sleep through the night, I don't have like a second to spare. The minute he's asleep, the minute I'm asleep, because I know I won't get any sleep in the night if I don't do that. But I would love to find some time in my day where I could get some spiritual reading done, because it really does elevate me. It makes me feel closer to Christ. It brings me closer to Him, and it's just another way of also modeling for our children. If you have children, it's so important to show them what living with Christ looks like. And I believe you can't just go to church on Sunday. That's not enough. Going to church on Sunday is lovely, and if that's something that you're still working towards, then yes, that is important. You want to get to church every Sunday. But it's not enough to really model a Christ-like way of living. You want everything that you do reflect the love of Jesus Christ. I really believe, like, also model great habits for your children and show them how living a life with Christ looks like. And part of that should involve spiritual reading. And now, as I said, I'm really not good at that right now. I was listening to audiobooks a lot, and I highly recommend Audible because it's a great way to listen to books. I love Mother Angelica's autobiography. It's totally changed my life. And Fulton Sheen's autobiography is also incredible. Those are great things that you can listen to. I also listen to the Screw Tape Letters, which is incredible. And those are all kid friendly. You can listen to them. Like, the Screw Tape Letters is a little scary, not because the content's scary, but the reality that there is an evil force in our life. There are demons that want to send us to hell is really scary. That book definitely convicted me that I am in danger of going to hell and I need to really walk the narrow path. Having spiritual books you're constantly consuming and reading the Bible will elevate your life and convict you and make you feel closer to God. Another really great book that I love is My Heart Will Triumph. It's the book about one of the visionaries from Medjugorje. The Vatican has not signed off on those visions, but I truly believe in the visions in Medjugorje, and I really believe the testimonies of the visionaries. The book My Heart Will Triumph really convicted me, especially on going to confession. Reading these books will really help you grow in your spiritual life and your faith. That's something I really want to get back into. My fifth thing that every Catholic should do every day is exercising for mortification. I struggle with mortification, if I'm honest, like fasting and mortification, because that's not something I'm really good at. I used to have an eating disorder, and a lot of like fasting can be very triggering for me. I also have low blood sugar, Addison's disease, so skipping meals isn't the best thing in the world for me. I want to be practicing mortification every day, and for me, exercising consistently is not only a great habit for my health, but it's also a way way that I can practice mortification in a way that I feel like is something I can actually do without triggering the eating disorder or my like setting off health issues. And it's something everyone can do every day, even if your form of exercise is just walking, and especially making it into a prayer. For me, there's a lot of days that I do not want to exercise. I really sometimes am so tired from having being up in the night with my 2-month-old that I really don't want to be exercising. But let me tell you, I have a crucifix right above where I work out, and I look at the crucifix every morning before I start my workout, especially on the mornings that I don't want to be working out, and I just lay my struggles at the feet of Jesus. I say, Jesus, I give you this struggle. And I also try to work out for someone's intention, normally for someone's physical healing, because I'm doing a physical exercise. It's a physical struggle for me, and it's also a form of building my own health, that I want to be offering up that struggle, that mortification for someone that is struggling in their health and maybe can't move their body, so I can remember what a gift it is to be able to exercise. I look at my crucifix and I say, Lord, I offer up this the struggle to exercise. I offer up this discomfort for the intention of, and then I name someone. Right now, my mom is struggling with arthritis, and I've been exercising with the intention of her healing. If there's anyone you can name in your prayers, I mean, I think we all know someone that has some kind of a health struggle, and it's so important to be able to remember what a gift it is to be able to move our bodies, to offer up for someone that is struggling with their health, because I think that's the hardest thing in the world when you're really struggling in your health. As I said, I have Addison's disease, and I've had times in my life where I've really struggled with my health and not been able to get out of bed, not been able to walk, not been able to talk. I really try to remember like what a gift it is to be able to move my body, that it can be a prayer for somebody else who's not able to. Please let me know if there's something else that you think that every Catholic should do every day. I'd love to hear it. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to be your friend.